nothing in this world lasts forever. Not even a giant 18-meter tall moving Gundam. First opened on December 19th, 2020, the RX-78F00 Gundam and the Gundam Factory Yokohama that housed it were meant as a celebration of the series' 40th anniversary and also as a tour de force for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. With this goal in mind though, it was only meant to be on display for a little over a year, already closing down on March 31st, 2022. But during this time, a worldwide pandemic happened, and Japan adopted an isolationist policy not seen since the shoguns ruled over her. And this time, not even the Dutch could get in. So fortunately for Gundam fans across the world, once Japan opened up again, the closing date would be delayed to March 31st, 2023, and then once again to March 31st, 2024, where it still stands today with no further signs of future extensions. So on the 10th of January, I undertook what is most likely my final pilgrimage from Akihabara to Yamashita Pier. I boarded the Keihin Tohoku line, as one does, but rather than getting off at the Yokohama station, I went to the Sakuragicho station. And that is because there are two main ways you can get to the Gundam Factory Yokohama, as a Gundam fan. There's the one that Google Maps will tell you about, which is the fastest, and will also take you through Yokohama's amazing Chinatown, which, like, seriously, if you do take this route, take your time to take in the sights and grab a bite to eat. You won't regret it. But you can also take the roundabout way via the Bandai Namco Cross Store Yokohama. And that name should already tell you everything you need to know. It is a big Bandai store inside of the Yokohama World Porters Mall, which, at the time of my visit, was undergoing some restoration work, so yeah, sorry for these pictures. It does take a little bit of walking to get there, but I'd say that it's totally worth it. You get to see some nice sceneries while walking, and you can responsibly spend some more money on things that you, of course, absolutely need. And in this store, you can find a little bit of everything that Bandai has to offer. Displays like this really cool white base, gachapon machines, which are the crazier the better, card games, action figures, including of course Gundam action figures, lots and lots of various idle things, oh hey, Saint Snow, and of course model kits. But to both my surprise and disappointment, there wasn't any Gunpla. They had Pokemon, 30-minute sisters, 30-minute missions, the Borderline thing, Kamen Rider, and so on. But no Gunpla. Well, at least no regular Gunpla, because what you can get at the Bandai Namco Cross Store is Ichiban Kuji, a themed lottery where you will always win something. And the themes they have can be extremely varied, going from Snoopy to Nikkei and from Spy Family to Gundam and Gunpla. And when I was there, they had the Gunpla 2023 Ichiban Kuji, with prizes like a solid clear Master Grade Freedom 2.0, Master Grade Ailstrike version remaster, High Grade Aerial, High Grade Lafrith, High Grade Build Strike, High Grade Build Burning Gundam, and High Grade Gundam 00 Diver. So for less than $5 a ticket, how could I not try? I got 2 placemats and an acrylic stand. Moving on. I then tried to get the Shark Dragon from the Gachapon machine, but let's say my luck was even worse. So here's some footage of this cool machine that you can put your empty Gachapon capsules in, along with all of your hopes. But at least I could dry my tears with these free tissues that I got with my Ichiban Kuji tickets. Time to head to the main event of my trip then, the Gundam Factory Yokohama. And again, there are some really cool sights on the way there. Like, I especially like these old school red warehouses. Well, they used to be warehouses. Not only do they look super fancy, but it feels like there's always something going on here. Last time I was here, they had a summer event, and this time they had an ice rink. But now it's not the time to be distracted. I came here for Gundam. So eyes on the prize, and oh yeah, right, someone recommended me to go to this museum ship that's located right next to the Gundam factory Yokohama. You can even see the Gundam from the bridge. Also, can you believe that building a house in 1930 cost only 1,000 yen? Inflation is a bitch. But now for real, to the Gundam factory Yokohama I go. And as sad as it is to say, I could feel that they're almost shutting down. In the past, when you entered, you got a small RX-F00 Gunpla, which is now nowhere to be seen, and in the store, almost all of the more exclusive and crazy things were sold out. Like, they still had the basic RX-F00 Gunpla and merchandise, but compared to the past, it just felt a bit more barren, more boring. But of course, that didn't mean that I didn't buy anything, but that's besides the point. Other than things to buy then, they also had some Witch from Mercury cutouts to take pictures with, and a shelf of custom Gunpla to oogle. But I didn't have too much time to spend here, because I didn't just get a normal ticket for my last time, I went all in and also bought the special Gundam Dock Tower Viewing ticket. Sure, it raises the price from 10 US to 32 US, which in 1930 would have gotten me at least 3 houses, but I'd say that's totally worth the price. Yes, it's impressive seeing the Gundam when you're on the floor, but when you enter the Gundam dock, you can get so close to the Gundam, you'll feel like you can almost touch it. Just resist the temptation to steal it, because just because Gundams are stolen a lot in the show, doesn't mean you should do the same with the real Gundam. It's against the rules. What you can, of course, do is drool all over the place, take a lot of pictures, fight with the other tourists over the best place to take those pictures, take more pictures, record videos, fight with other tourists for the best place to make those videos, record more videos, and then hopefully not get a copyright strike when you upload the video onto YouTube.
All motors are ready and good to go. No problems found.
Oh, and of course, every tour is timed with one of the Gundam's impressive light and music shows. So no matter when you go, you'll always get an amazing experience up there. Just don't forget to actually look at the thing with your own eyes instead of fumbling around with your phone the whole time. And that was the Gundam Dock experience. So while I waited for the next show, I decided to hit up the Gundam Cafe. And in the past, I think I've made it very clear that I'm a big fan of the Gundam Cafe. In particular, the now closed Akihabara locations. Prices were reasonable, and the themed food was charming. So as far as themed cafes went, the Gundam Cafe was really good. This Gundam Cafe, though, it isn't bad, but it feels much more like a standard cafe with slightly jacked up prices for the minimal amount of Gundam branding they put on the food. Like, their big promotional item is a cheeseburger with meat from a local company. And while it is cool that they're sourcing local food, the only Gundam related thing with this burger is that it comes in a Gundam Factory Yokohama box, and that it has a wrapper with a Gundam hand on it, which is better than nothing, I guess, because at least burgers do still play a role in Gundam. The thing I had last time then was the Gundam Factory Yokohama original bento. And you can tell that it's Gundam themed by the piece of seaweed that's in the shape of a Gundam. Now it's a Gundam bento, and now it's a regular bento. At least it did taste good. The drinks and desserts then do get slightly more Gundam themed. You can get ice cream or coffee with a cool Gundam design on it, and for the coffee, they had time limited designs like these from Witch from Mercury or Gundam Seed Freedom. But probably my favorite of the bunch is the Haro pudding. Because not only do you get the pudding, you get to keep the glass that it comes in. Although, I was surprised the first time around when I got a Ziploc baggie to keep the glass that I just ate out. Because in the past, they had similar promotions with Gundam beer glasses at the other Gundam cafes. And the way that it worked there was, you got your drink in a glass that was marked as Gundam Cafe property, and then you got a brand new boxed one to take home. Which feels a lot fancier than just being handed a Ziploc bag. But because stealing glasses is a thing, I can unfortunately see why they went this route. As for the cafe itself then, it is a pretty big location with a great view of the Gundam. And there's also a very charming, like rustic kind of remix playing of some classic soundtracks from the first Gundam series. After devouring my vaguely Gundam-themed burger, ice cream, and coffee then, it's time for another Gundam show. Now, there's the standard rotation of shows that it always has, but it's also got some limited shows that are related to the Gundam shows that were hot at the moment. In the past, there was Witch from Mercury, and during my last visit, there was of course Gundam Seed Freedom. So, while it was my last visit, I did have a blast. Okay, show done? Let's go kill some time at the Gundam Factory Yokohama Academy. As the name indicates, here you can learn things like how our big boy was built, how it functions, fun facts, and who was involved with its construction. And on top of that, they've also got some cool hands-on experiment type things that you can play around with, and there was also this really cool Gunpla assembling robot. Sure, it wasn't cutting the pieces from runners, but it was still amazing to see this droid putting the pieces together and then placing the completed figure down, all with the same grace and carefulness of a flesh and blood Gunpla builder. And then it would do the same thing again and again until the little hangar area was filled with cute little RX-78 FOOs. And would you look at the time, the Gundam's about to start moving again. Originally, I wasn't planning to stay until closing time. Again. But there's 2 shows an hour, with them combined lasting 15 minutes, so it's really only about a 20-minute wait between shows. And while on regular days there's only the 4 regular ones, with special events, they add a few to the mix, so how could I not stay until the end? And in between shows, there are still a few more small things to discover. They've got this conference room where you can take a break and watch a video about moving Gundam. All in Japanese, of course. The toilet signs are appropriately Gundam themed. They've got a popcorn stand where you can also get a Haro popcorn bucket. And right next to the moving Gundam, they've also got some food trucks selling stuff. I'm only now realizing that I never really checked those out because, I mean, I was always drawn more to the Gundam Cafe behind them and, well, the giant Gundam next to them. And well, that's it, seemingly forever. I just hope that for everyone who wasn't able to see it in person in the way too short time that it was available, that they'll replace it with something equally awesome, which you will be able to see. I'll then end this video with the same way I ended my afternoon and evening there, with the Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny ending mural. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next time.